Hey, to all my hustlers out there, it's Eleanor back with the Entrepreneur Hustles 21-day Takeoff for 2022, where we are talking about how we can cultivate the habits and the mindset to make sure we have a phenomenal year for 2022. And today we are talking about triumph. What happens when you win? What happens when the thing you have been praying for and wishing for and working for happens? It feels really, really good. Lots of joy around that, lots of momentum around that. And then what happens next? Behind the triumph is usually the next challenge. It is, in fact, the never ending story. That triumph that you made, the big deal that you closed, the business check off on your checklist that occurred, isn't the end of the story. And lots of times, that new, next, higher, more difficult challenge can be a real hard mental obstacle for you to overcome because you may think, I've put in all of this work, I've put in all of this time, and now what is required for me? More work, more time, more challenges, more obstacles. But as I always say, if it doesn't challenge you, it doesn't change you. And that next obstacle that is around the bend is just the other part, the next part in your own development, in the growth of your business, and in the assurance that whatever comes your way, you can handle because you have accomplished and overcome so much this far. This far. I know myself, I started a couple of new projects last year. And what do you want? You want instant success. This world makes us think things happen one, two, three. So you want the next best thing to happen and you want to see the fruits of your labor delivered, not just sowing the seeds. You want to see it grow. You want to get that harvest. And when it doesn't happen or when it happens and you realize that, oh, it's time to get ready for the next sowing of the seeds, that can be very frustrating. For me, with the entrepreneur hustle and launching our products, I definitely felt like I've worked on this for years. This should just blow up and I shouldn't have to worry about a lot. But as I finished one creative process or the birth of books or t-shirts, I then realized that's not the end of it. I have to move to the next mode. I have to move to marketing. I have to move to campaigning. And so getting over, yes, I just birthed my business baby. I feel great. And then getting into the reality that that's not the end. There's more work to do can be very discouraging. It could be very unearthing. And for many people, it could be the moment where you break. Hey, I don't have any more work. I don't have any more time for all of this work. I can't continue to try to learn new things, to try to push myself further than I've ever pushed myself. And so I'm going to call it quits. But this is the moment that you begin to understand just who you are and all that you are made of, all the persistence, all the endurance that is actually inside of you, and the capacity to learn and to grow. So sometimes, even though it feels very frustrating, that can just be the next step of evolution. And if you anticipate it and look at it as such, you can get excited about it. It gives you space to say, hey, I've made it to level one, level two, here I come. I've picked up these new skills. I've learned more about myself, and I am better prepared than I ever have been to take on these new challenges. So don't get discouraged about as you triumph that the next challenge has occurred. That's your next step forward to push yourself to new heights, to change in ways you didn't anticipate. So behind triumph is usually the next challenge, but don't be afraid of it. Anticipate it. Get ready for the next fight. Pat yourself on the back for the triumph that you've accumulated, and then get ready for the next one that you are setting your sights to now. That's our tip for today. Make sure, as always, you check us out on our YouTube channel or at entrepreneurhustle.co.